And we're live. Hello and welcome. It is our last session for the year, so I'm so stoked that you are here. We're going to start within a few minutes today's session. It is our last AMA session. It's all about Amazon advertising, and let me go live also on Instagram because I forgot to do so. Cool. So my name is Noemi. I'm the co-founder of ScaleWave. We are an agency that's helping brands selling on Amazon, and we're helping them with Amazon ads mainly. Today's session is going to be an Amazon related Amazon PPC questions. I'm going to take first off and prioritize beginner questions because those are the ones that I see are most important when it comes down to foundations, fundamentals, and basics of something that most people are just ignoring simply because they think that they should not be taught and they are too simple to learn. So today's session is going to be for 1 hour long. It is the 10th episode of this one, and I'm so stoked and I'm so proud because 10 sessions consecutively we were here, we were answering all the best Amazon PPC questions, and I'm so happy that I can help the community this way. We started 5 years ago on Amazon. I started by myself, learned a lot about Amazon ads, and today basically I'm going to answer all my knowledge that I managed to acquire during the past 5 years. So here in the chat section, you can leave your comments. We're going to, hi there, hi Abraham. We are going to prioritize first Amazon PPC related questions. Also, if you have any questions that are business related, hiring, firing, systems, processes, SOPs, whatsoever that you are struggling with right now in your business, more than happy to answer them. Of course, we're going to prioritize Amazon PPC questions because that is the scope and purpose of the session. Quick note, we are streaming on LinkedIn, YouTube, and also on Instagram, just letting you know that there are going to be comments coming in from multiple sources. And if you see me scrolling through and looking through, okay, where should the question is, where does the question is coming from and which are the things that I should be answering, that's what you're going to see. So before we officially start, I'm going to give it a few more minutes. So I wanted to share with you what has been really on my mind for the past 2-3 hours, because previous this recording, as this is live stream, I was looking into planning for 2026, and I wanted to share with you something that is really important that now I wish my 2025 self would have known when she started the year. And this is really important because most of the time what I'm seeing is that we tend to have these big goals, and especially at the end of the year, and then for the next year we're planning ahead and we're thinking, oh yes, it's going to be successful, it's going to be my best year ever. Hopefully that is the case. But most of the time what is happening is that at the final moment of the year, we are not going to take time to look back on which are the things that happened during the year, and really more importantly, which are the things that worked well, which are the things that did not work well, and which are the systems maybe especially that did not work well for us for the year. And looking back to 2025, I'm noticing that a common thing that for me it was a bottleneck, it was that I did not have proper systems in place to deal with unimportant things. Unimportant things, I mean things that I should have not prioritized. And now in retrospective, I see that my business would have grown way more if I would have had that simple thing of think that system are going to beat anything, thought process, anything that is like decisions, anything. If you have a good system in place, it's going to be way more helpful for you. So questions are coming in, amazing. How to move to German? I hope I am okay. Please, wish you luck, Vasu. Most luck. German, I'm not sure if you are familiar with the language, but German is not an easy language, so I do wish you luck. Best luck. Cool. I am streaming right now from Florida, Fort Lauderdale. Good. All right, guys. So if you have Amazon PPC related questions, more than happy to answer them. Please drop them here in the comment section, and I'm going to make my best to ensure that you guys are going to be answered, okay? So getting back to the planning section, really, really important because this is something that I noted and I want to share with you. So we're going to wrap it up. So when it comes down to planning, really, what I had is a reflection of 2025 and the few things that were in my mind, really observation. How did the year perform for me? Because what's really important is not only that you've gone through the year and you want to forget and you want to wish for the best for the next year, because if you're going to apply that plan, it's not going to help. So I just had some observations, and really important was to understand, okay, a reflection, what worked for me, where did I allocate most of my time, and also observation, which are the habits that were most impactful for me, especially for the first and between the first and third quarter. That's usually when you're planning and you're investing so much time and so on. And by Q4, usually you burn out. And what I noticed is on my end, Q4 was the most successful for me just because I was aiming to have the following goals. To have systems in place, right? So I was looking into, okay, what is the best way for me so I can implement better systems that are going to take less decisions for me. And also, one more thing that helped me tremendously is finding my best performing hours. Believe it or not, I always thought that I am a night owl. It turns out that I am a night owl that prefers to wake up really early in the morning. So that now that I know that, okay, 4:30 is my time when I'm waking up in the morning, and then until 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, I'm just getting things done. I don't even look at anything else, getting things done as quick as possible. And I know that my focus is going to be there just because that is the time when most people sleep. They're not going to message me. They're not going to reach out. They're not going to do anything like that. But I have my dedicated time. Now, for you, look at what worked best for you for 2025 and how could you replicate the same success, right? Also, I was looking into, okay, what will change this year? So really important, which are the things that I want to focus on? And then how will I stay accountable? Now, accountability is very important because if you're not accountable, everything what you put in place, it's just wishful thinking. You're planning ahead, but it's just wishful thinking. If there's no way to measure whatever the outcome is going to be, it's wishful thinking. I'm telling you this from also an advertising point of view, right? So we have goals for one brand, we have a budget for one brand, and then at the end of the month, we will see how close or how far we are from whatever we planned. Now, if we don't have an accountability system in place, clear metrics in place, we cannot see how far or how close we are. It's just visual thinking. So make sure that once that you're going to set up, okay, these are the things that I want to achieve for the next year, 2026, you are going to find yourself a way to stay accountable. And then also, what systems will I create and apply to prioritize and implement? This is really, really important because truly systems are going to beat willpower. Whenever you don't feel like doing it, whenever you're just like, oh, I'm so tired and so on, find for yourself a system that is one, very easy to implement, and two, quick. It's going to give you an easy win. Because if you don't have that in place, you might be thinking of systems that, this is this complex process. Giving you the simplest system that I implemented within the last year, it was making sure that whenever I am waking up, I'm going to brush my teeth. I am going to, of course, like just do a quick morning routine, so I know that I'm awake. And then what I'm going to do to make sure that I'm going to take my supplements, first thing that I'm going to do when I'm going to the kitchen, I'm taking my supplements. Then to make sure that I don't get my stomach, because I'm taking multiple supplements, they're like all great for me. But because I'm taking so many supplements, I also have to make sure that I have something that's going to balance that out, because I'm not eating in the morning. So I will have one bite of protein bar. I found one of my favorite protein bars and is super helpful for me. So now that I have that system in place, I never skip when I'm going to, like I'm waking up in the morning, I never skip taking my supplements. This is the easiest system that I put in place that I'm still doing. And I was able to do it 365. So that's why I'm saying that it has to be super, super simple, your system, and always stick to it. Easy to achieve. All right, let's get into today's topic, because I am talking a lot about planning, which is very, very important, since now it is second to last day of the year. So I wanted to share all my thoughts when it comes down to how I prioritize for the next year. But getting into today's topics, which is Amazon PPC, Hello, Noemi. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you too. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate you watching. So what I'm going to do for the next 15 minutes, because it's already 1:11 p.m. here on my end, EDT time, until 2 o'clock p.m., we're going to take Amazon PPC related questions. Questions are coming from multiple places, so if you see me like watching like that, it means that I am going through and skimming through questions so I can answer them. The very first question is coming in. So how do you personally use Helium 10 to find good keywords for Amazon PPC? So quick, let's zoom out for clarity what Helium 10 is, because it might be that some of you guys don't know the software. So Helium 10, it is a software that is going to help usually brands successfully with keyword research and with spying on competition, and also spying on whatever works already for your product. The question is super straight ahead. How do I use personally Helium 10 to find good keywords for Amazon PPC? So we are using a tool in Helium 10 called Cerebro. This is one of the processes that we're using, and the way how we're using it, Cerebro is going to help us see both also on our end which are the keywords that we are organically ranking for, which are the keywords that we intentionally are advertising, and which are the keywords that we are not advertising. Now, when it comes down to that is when it comes down to our product. When it comes down to our competitors' product, we're going to look up a very similar process, again, in Cerebro, and there we're going to add up to 10 or 9 of our competitors while we're also adding our product. This is if you have already a product launch. If you don't have a product, you're going to take just the top 10 products that are best sellers on Amazon, that are ranking for one specific keyword, that are highly relevant for whatever you are planning to sell. So now that you understand better how you can use it both for checking on whatever works already for your product, which are the things that you're advertising for, which are the things that you're missing that should be advertising for, and also how to look up competitors. That is a good way how we can find good keywords for Amazon PPC. Helium 10 also, it's helping us with keyword ranking and with tracking specific keywords that we are using in Amazon PPC efforts and also in SEO efforts. So I will highly check it out. I will highly recommend you to check it out if you have not had the chance. It's something that has most content on, so this is why I'm endorsing it, because what I'm seeing on my end 5 years ago when I started is like I went to whoever provided me the most accurate content that was up to date and was the most volume of it. That's also why you see, guys, I am sharing so much, like even the AMA sessions, I'm aiming to reply as quick as possible. So this can become short snippets that we are then uploading to Amazon, to YouTube, sorry. And then that way you can have lots of content that are super sharp, clear, and exactly whatever you were looking for. Let me know if that answered the question. All right, second question is, what does PPC optimization actually look like on a weekly or daily basis? So we have a clear understanding of what Amazon PPC optimization look like. Amazon PPC optimization can look like not only bid optimization. And why I'm saying this is because most of the time whenever someone is asking, how do I optimize my ads, they are very likely referring to how do I lower my bids so I become way more profitable on Amazon, which is not the case always. The way how I'm seeing optimization and how we are doing it in our agency Scale Wave when we're helping brands with Amazon ads is we are looking at the optimization process as what are the things that we are going to do in order to achieve most effectively the goals that we have for an account. Example, if we have a goal of getting more profitable sales, the optimization process is going to be bid reduction, meaning that we are going to aim to reduce the amount that we spend on advertising as much as we can, but making sure that we're not going to take away from our sales, right? So that is one of the optimization processes, that is bid reduction process. Another optimization process that can again be very relevant is whenever it comes down to scaling campaigns. And by scaling campaigns is that we want to increase revenue and we want to optimize for that. Optimization process is going to be making sure that if you have specific keywords that are working really well for you and are bringing in traffic and bringing in sales, to make sure that you are going to dominate for those specific keywords. So in that sense, optimization, it is making sure that the placements that are performing best, we are going to apply placement modifiers, making sure that we are going to target only exact match campaigns for specific keywords. That is also optimization, right? And that is something that you can do on a daily basis. So the easiest way you can do it on a daily basis is that open up the account and see for the past last 7 days without considering the last 2 days data. So for example, let's say that today is Wednesday, you're going to look up the data from Monday to for last week, Monday or Sunday to Saturday, or so on. So for the last week, without including the last 2 days. And that is the most accurate data that we are going to optimize for, right? This is something that you can do on a daily basis. As well as I was saying, the way how you're going to do it on a daily basis is simply accountability on looking into, okay, yesterday I created these campaigns, I optimized these campaigns, I made these changes. How did it perform? Did it brought the results that I was looking into? And yes, you might be saying that because attribution is missing, it's going to give you maybe false positives and so on. But what you're looking for, if the goal for the campaign was to bring additional clicks, so you're going to at least have an idea, how do you convert for specific keywords? Optimization process must kick in right away, because if you're not getting impressions, you have to increase your bids. So hope that gave you a more clear answer. Let me know if so, and if not, feel free to follow up with any questions, okay? Yes, I am a female. Weird question, but I tend to answer these questions. Yes, I am a female, okay, and I appreciate the kindness. So next question, what does it make sense to use sponsor brand ads, and how should they be structured? When does it make sense to use sponsor brand ads, and how should they be structured? Sponsor brand ads, it is one of the ad types used on Amazon. We have sponsored products, sponsored brand, sponsored display, and also sponsored TV. When it comes down to sponsor brand ads, usually those are the ad types that are going to more be top of funnel, that are going to generate more traffic or more brand awareness traffic towards your listings. Now, when it comes down to sponsor brands, it really depends on what is the goal for the account. There's a few accounts where we're seeing that sponsor brands are outperforming sponsored product ads when it comes down to costs. However, what we're also seeing on our end is that if we don't run at least 70% of our ads sponsored products, sponsor brand ads are not going to give us stickability. I'm not sure if this is even like a word, but it's not going to allow us to stick for specific keywords that we want to rank for. And here a quick example of what happened with one of the pet brands that we took over, and we make sure that, okay, what is the best strategy for this brand, because the products were great, but the market was very competitive. Per click was so expensive, we were thinking, okay, let's try out sponsor brand video ads. And sponsor brand video ads brought in very cheap sales. By cheap sales, I mean the break-even ACOS for the product, it was 40%. We got in 10% ACOS sales. So that was very, very profitable for us. However, what we noticed is that we had one particular keyword that converted extremely well for us, and it was even an exact match. Now, very interesting that when we wanted to rank for that particular keyword that was highly relevant for our product, and we wanted to, organically rank on the first page, what we noticed is that when we were running dynamic ads, the video ads, people were clicking on it because it was more interesting and was maybe newer than just a simple static ad. And that gave us a false positive, thinking that majority of our ad spend can go towards sponsored brand ads rather than sponsored product ads. So that was a learning lesson that I want to share with you. And I'm just here to share everything. What we learned so far is that sponsored brand ads can be very helpful for you. However, make sure that not more than 30% of your ad spend is going to go towards them, because if so, what's going to end up with very hard for you to rank. That's my takeaway on that. Imagine that they would be similar to whenever you're bringing traffic from Facebook ads or video ads or so on, and they're just landing on your listing. That's also the rankability factor to it when it comes down to sponsored brand ads. Let me know if that helped answer the question. Hello, I'm new here. Please DM me your podcasting timing. I will definitely join next. Amazing. So this is for Ahmed Ali. Thanks so much for your interest. So what you can do, we are streaming these sessions. These are streamed live right now. I'm here, right? These are streamed every Tuesday at 1 o'clock p.m. EDT time. So it is Eastern time. Feel free to join next time. We are aiming to stream these weekly. Hopefully that you can make it for next time. Love it. I have no clue what you're talking about, but dang, I love it how you're saying it. Thank you so much for this positive feedback. So I'm talking about Amazon PPC advertising, and today's session it's all about Amazon PPC advertising. People are submitting their questions that are ad related, and those are the things that I'm answering. Let me know if that answers your question. All right, team. Next question is, how do you correctly target competitor products using Amazon PPC? So how do you correctly target competitive products using Amazon PPC? I repeated your question because you asked how do you correctly target, which made me think, is there a wrong way to target products? And yes, there is also a wrong way. So let me tell you how would you correctly target competitor products using Amazon PPC. The best way for you to target competitor product is zoom out for clarity and be strategic when you're looking at your product. By be strategic, I mean be honest. Where does the product stand? What is your competitive advantage? By competitive advantage, I mean, do you have an advantage where your branding is way better than your competitors? By branding, I mean, how does the product feels whenever someone is going to receive it? Giving you a super clear example, we just purchased 2 days ago a Roomba, and it's the iRoomba, like the Roomba, the iRobot brand. And we also purchased, I think 3 months ago, Shark brand. And right now I have comparison for the two. What was my experience as a shopper who received the product? And it was totally different experience. Both products were almost the same price. The only difference it was that the Roomba, it just felt premium. And by premium is like, if you ever had the chance to buy any Apple products, the way how you're going to open up the packaging, the way how they are packaging everything, the way how they are relying everything about the experience feels premium. Now, the question is, does your brand feels premium? Because if your brand feels premium, you can very easily sell that within the pictures that you have. So if your competitive advantage is the way how you're selling the brand, how you're making the customer, the end user feel when they receive the product and they are using it, that should be your competitive advantage. This is something that most people don't even talk about. Their competitive advantage is going to be pricing, it's going to be how fast is shipping, the competitive advantage is like how many colors does it has, and so on. If you're smart, you're going to think really like take 5 steps back. Okay, what is really my product excelling it? And if branding it's not, it's completely fine. It doesn't has to. There are products that are selling for $15, $20, from which I'm not expecting a super high-end branding, because that's what I paid for, right? So receiving a product that was $200, now giving you an example with the Roomba, and I know clearly that this $20 is a $20 experience that I'm going to have. If I'm ordering something that was $200, I'm going to compare it to the same experience that I had for another product that was again $200. And between the two brands, the iRoomba, it was really a high-end luxurious experience. The way how I open up everything, the way how the product, it looked like, the design and everything, versus the Shark brand, who's like, oh yes, also we offer this like tool that is going to take out, the whenever it's this like small motor brush, and whenever something is stuck in the motor brush, they're going to offer you this like thingy that's like, I don't know, it's helping the brush to get rid of all the hair and all the fuzz that's there, right? Now, Roomba also asked for that. But the way how they put it is like they managed to implement that within the whole product, like the design of the product. So this is why I'm referring to, if you have a product that's $200 and your experience is not at least as good as another product of $200, then, probably you should be thinking of something as being your strategic advantage here. So again, branding, positioning can be one of the things that is going to differentiate you. Next thing is going to be pricing. Next thing is going to be creatives, shipping method, if you're shipping FBM versus FBA. What else? If you have coupons on the listing, if you have a strike-through, that is going to showcase like how much are you selling in retail versus how much you're selling on Amazon. Even videos can be one of the things that can differentiate your brand. It might be the least amount of it, but can help with returns a lot, because at least people know how would they feel, what are they going to receive, and what it's going to look like within their home. Let me know if that answered the question, but that would be one of the way that you could correctly target competitors. Those are the brands that we want to target in our Amazon ads, right? So those would be good competitors to target. Now, bad competitors to target is going to be anyone who's more expensive than you and you don't have any competitive advantage, anyone who's shipping faster than you and you don't have any competitive advantage. Clear example, if you're selling, for example, protein bars, because we also have the brand with protein bars, their product was amazing and I loved personally their products, but they were shipping FBM because they had some issue with multiple, like they were classified multiple products. We had no chance against any other protein bars that were selling FBA simply because convenience. So our product arrived in 1 week, their product, the competitor's product, arrived in maybe a few hours if a warehouse it was close nearby, or maybe max 2 days. So that's why I'm saying that if that is not a competitive advantage, whatever you want to anchor your strategy on, highly likely that you're going to apply wrongly the targeting competing product strategy. Let me know if that helped. Okay. Next questions. Guys, feel free to leave your Amazon PPC questions. More than happy to answer them. Okay, so the next question, Amazon PPC related. What strategies actually help drive quality traffic through Amazon PPC? So your question is, what are the strategies that are helping drive quality traffic through Amazon PPC? This seems to be a very broad question, but it's not. And this is why I'm trying to give it just a bit more thought, because there are strategies that are not going to be helpful. And it comes down really to strategy. So let's step back just a bit for clarity. When we are talking about strategy, it's going to be really important to understand what strategy is. Strategy for us, what we do at ScaleWave, understanding what is the purpose behind one campaign. We have 5 strategies that we're applying that are always there. We either are protecting our own brand name and branded keywords and our product pages, which is protect. We either are going to target competitors for which or against which we have competitive advantage, that is going to be conquer. We have the rank strategy, where we're going to strategically take keywords or products in exact match and target those, that is rank. We also have the dominate strategy, which basically means that if you already have proof that those exact match keywords are working, and if you have proof that for specific placement you are ranking really well, that is the strategy behind. And then discover is going to be any other like match type that is not exact match. So it's going to be auto, phrase, broad modified, category targeting, category targeting. Those are going to be the ones that we're going to apply for our discovery strategy. And why is this very, very important for you to understand this? Because 5 years ago, when I started ads and learned ads, I learned tricks, tips, tactics. This is what to do, and I did not know what to do next. I was implementing it, the strategy, but then when it was broke, I did not know why it's broke, And even worse, I did not know how to fix it. And even worse than that, yes, I'm saying even worse, is that whenever I was successful with the strategy, I thought that I'm such a brilliant Amazon advertiser. This is like 1 month in Amazon advertising. Looking back now with 5 years plus of Amazon advertising knowledge, I can criticize myself based on the facts. So I did not know how to properly replicate success. And this is why I was saying at the beginning of today's session that most of the time people don't understand what the strategy is behind one campaign. And if you're not clear on that strategy, no matter what you're doing, you're not going to be able to, one, stay accountable to it. So you will see that the strategy is working or not. And then second, in case that it works, how can you duplicate it? And third, in case that it's not working, you will know clearly why it's not working. Let me know if that answered the question, because I really think that that would be a better way for you to understand how do strategies work to drive qualified traffic. There's no right or wrong answer. There is where do you want to go? So you will get whatever you want to get. To be super simple, because we also have people who are not in Amazon PPC, and you also at least get an understanding of what I say. If you want to go to grocery shopping, you need food. You're going to go to the closest grocery store, right? If you need makeup, you're going to go somewhere where it's provided makeup. If you need, I don't know, if you're going to movies, you're going to go and get to see the movie that you want. That is also the thing with the strategies that you're applying. So you have to know what you are looking for to get it. That once that you got it, know that you got the right thing. Let me know if that helped. You look like my geography school teacher. All right, I take it. Geography, for some reason, I really like geography. I was not a good student, though. But for some reason, geography is still like one of my passions. I'm looking into Google Maps a lot. For some reason, I find it very interesting. It stays only there. Right, next question. How do you decide the right PPC budget when launching a new product? When it comes down to Amazon PPC budget, the first thing that I would like to clarify is budget, the word budget. Most people, whenever they are saying budget, for some reason, especially brands who are smaller, they're thinking, this is the small thing that I have for ads, Big brands that we're helping. By big brands, I mean like 6-figure brands, monthly, 7+ figure yearly. They also have a budget, right? So first off, the first thing that I want you to understand that when I'm talking about budget, I'm talking what is the money that you're willing to allocate to, one, gather data, two, double down on the data that you gathered, that it was positive, three, make sure that the data that you gather, that it's not helpful for you, to pause it, stop it. So when it comes down to Amazon launch, whenever you're launching a product on Amazon and you're asking about how to decide the right PPC budget while launching a new product, it's really important for you to, one, understand your product, understand your category. For example, if it comes down to a supplement brand, supplements usually, they're very, very competitive. So the sheer fact that you're, one, selling supplement, you should have enough inventory for the supplements, but then two, you should also be aware of the fact that the cost per click is going to be very high. By very high, I mean $5, $10, $20, $50, even $50, it can be one freaking click. Therefore, if you're going to go for multiple keywords right away, you will know that, okay, if I'm going to 5 keywords and my cost per click can be up to $50, which is like a lot. And if I know at least 10 clicks in order to convert, which is a 10% conversion rate, which is very high actually in the supplements and in general in consumable products, then you will think, okay, so for one campaign, for the one keyword, I will need at least $500 per day to convert. And then you're going to multiply that by 30 because they're 30 days. So that's why I'm saying that when it comes down to budget, it's really important not only how to budget, but thinking how aggressive do you want to go whenever you're launching. I would highly advise you, because this is really the climax of where you build your business of let's start and let's gain real data from real customers that I created this product for. You would want to have as much data as possible, and also be aware of the fact that if you just started out, especially for supplements or consumable items especially, it's going to take at least 1 to 2 months, even 3 months sometimes, until you're going to see, okay, now I'm starting to get sales, right? Because what is happening most of the time, and I'm going to just close up with this, but what is happening most of the time when it comes down to launching on Amazon and budgeting for Amazon, most people are thinking of, this is my 1 month budget. You should be thinking, this is my 1 quarter budget. And then how am I going to split that budget? Let's say if you're going to budget $10,000 for a quarter, that means that at least $3,000 should go within each month, right? So that $10,000, you should have it. You should account for it, that you're going to spend. In case that you have like a niche where the cost per click is higher, you should be thinking at least $10,000 per month, and that is your marketing cost budget. You are a business. You are marketing your business on Amazon. Let me know if that answers your question. All right, one more question here on LinkedIn. Subscribed. Amazing. Thank you so much for your trust, and certainly hope that you're going to enjoy my next sessions as well as topics that I'm sharing here. In sponsored products auto campaigns, when we add 500 or 1,000 ASINs in one auto campaign, usually only 10-20 ASINs get most of the impressions and clicks. Yes, many other ASINs are well optimized and have good potential, but still they don't receive impressions or clicks, even when bid and budget are the same for all. Yes. Why does this happen? That's your question. And what strategy should be followed in this situation to give other ASINs a fair chance? Amazing question. So if you're going to do this strategy, I'm assuming that you have a catalog with multiple ASINs. Now, what I would do with the knowledge that I have right now, I would look into, out of all the ASINs that you're adding, do you already have 1 or 2 products that are top best sellers that you already have data for? Because if so, you're not going to do the strategy that you're talking about, but what you're going to do is rather focus your ad spend on things that already work. Keep in mind that this is discipline and it's focus, and it's something that is the biggest lever to whatever you already have and it works. So that would be the first step. Now, in case that you're going to add multiple ASINs to the one campaign, what is going to happen is that you are increasing your potential to bleed as much as you can when you're adding 500 to 1,000 ASINs. So what we would do in this case, we would have very, very low bids. And this is also what's causing the effect that you're talking about, that you're not getting any impressions and any clicks and so on. Because there are multiple products that have multiple bids, and then think of it, even if you have a handful of 5 products, even 5 products are going to get multiple, like different outcomes. So that's why I'm saying, if you want to apply this strategy, usually we are applying this strategy, but the way how we're applying it, we are applying it to accounts to get cheap sales, aka low ACOS sales, aka get a CPC, cost per click, that is the lowest as possible, and gain some orders. That is the strategy behind of the campaign that you are asking about, right? So that is a discovery campaign, low bid catch all campaign. For that, we are already knowing that not all of the keywords are going to be working. In your case, because you're adding multiple products, that not all the products are going to get impressions and are going to get clicks. And that is something that we are expecting from the campaign, because what we are aiming with that campaign is that the products that are still viewable and they are getting impressions and they are getting clicks are going to bring us the cheapest sales possible. So now that you're clear on the strategy behind that, the campaign that you're describing is a discovery strategy, and it's expected that you're not going to get the impressions and the clicks and the visibility for all products, right? So this is why I was saying a few questions back that if you don't understand what is the strategy behind the campaign, you're going to fail just because you don't know what to expect and what good looks like, what bad looks like, right? So that's why I'm saying that that is a totally normal outcome for you, that you're not going to get that, like for all products, all the same visibility. So in this situation, what I would do, as I was saying, I would first focus on, if I already have data, which are the products that best perform for me. And for those, what I would do, I would apply the same strategy that you're doing. And if you want to add like most, like create a catch-all campaign similar to what you described, I would do it for the one ASIN, and then I would target multiple things. That way, I know for sure that for that one ASIN, for that one product, I'm going to get the results that I'm looking for. Now, if you don't have this data at all, and if the brand is brand new and they are just launching multiple products, or you're just stupid, they already have been on Amazon, but the data is skewed and so on, and you're just like, let's give it a shot, then you would add all the products within the one campaign. You would be aware of the fact that this is a discovery campaign. Best way how you can still fragment this is because you're talking about sponsored products auto campaign. The way how we would do it in ScaleWave, because you have multiple products, we would have 4 different campaigns in this case. So we would have one that is loose match, one that is substitutes, one that is close match, and one that is complement. You are going to apply exactly the same strategy. Easiest way how you can do this within the ad console is just copy, 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 copy. So duplicate 4 times the same campaign, and then make sure that always you have only one ad group activated. That way you're going to trigger different searches, and then also you're going to say that for some products it's going to work, for others not. Let me know if that helped. I tried to be as thorough as possible, because that's also something that I did not know some time ago when I started on Amazon. And again, there's no way for you to know until you're flexing the muscle and doing it and gaining more impressions and gaining more experience. And like, oh, so this is how it works. Yes, that's how it works. Let me know if that helped. All right, cool. So new comment. Another question from LinkedIn this time. Miss Youngmo, if you have business-related questions, everything what I'm talking about is business-related. It's very strict. The topic is Amazon PPC because that is the topic of our session. If you have any business-related question, feel free to ask. I'm going to prioritize Amazon PPC questions, but if you have a question that is business-related, by business I mean how to run a business, how to hire, how to fire, how to create a job description, how to create SOPs, how to create processes, how to manage expectations, how to keep people accountable, how to have a project management software, feel free to drop your question in the chat, okay? Right, Amazon PPC question. Hey Noemi, how do you check organic orders after running campaign? The easiest way that we can track that is by comparing whatever we made from Amazon PPC ads versus total sales. And the 2 metrics for that is going to be, the one metric for Amazon PPC sales is going to be our A cost. So how much per order did we make, or ROAS. You can also look into ROAS if you're tracking ROAS. And then the metric that we are going to use for PPC plus organic is going to be tacos. And then really important, how you're going to check between these two is when you're running first the campaign, and especially when your brand is launching on Amazon, your A cost and your tacos are going to be quite similar. Reason for that is that most of your orders are going to come from ads. I'm here to tell you that no matter how good your brand is of Amazon, unless you have lots of searches when it comes down to off the platform, or you're redirecting traffic with, hey, this is my product, check us out on Amazon, and this is how you can find our product, blah, blah, that is going to generate like search volume for your keywords, right? That are highly brandly related, so branded keywords. So there is also a way how you can achieve that. But most of the time, what's going to happen whenever you're running your very first ads, ACOS and TACOS is going to be quite the same percentage-wise. And then where we are aiming is that most of our sales are going to come more from organic than from Amazon ads. Now, depends on our strategy. If we want to get more market share, we have to assume that also from your tacos, like tacos is going to go up, because that is the metric that we're tracking. So if tacos goes up, actually that's a good thing for us, that it seems like whatever we're doing on the Amazon PPC side, it's going to also help us rank better, right? But that's the easiest way how you could check organic orders after running Amazon PPC ads. Let me know if that answers your question. All right, we are 46 minutes in. Still have a few questions here. I am aiming to answer them all. Thank you so much for submitting all your questions. This means a lot because I'm taking time to answer all these questions, and you guys here is like super helpful to answer the questions that actually are there. So it's amazing. What's the right way to structure ad groups inside my Amazon PPC campaign? We're going to step out so we can get clarity. We're also going to take a sip of tea because my throat is sore. Okay. Okay, again. So the question is, what's the right way to structure ad groups inside an Amazon PPC campaign? There is no right way. I'm here to tell you, I'm busting the bubble of there's a right way how to do it. Right way means that it's aligning with whatever your strategy is. Right way for a discovery campaign, as I mentioned, 5 strategies that we're applying to scale with. For a discovery campaign, right way, it can mean that we have the one ad group that is, or we have all 4 ad groups, for example, in sponsored product ads, and we're just letting them run, and we want to see, okay, how do they perform, especially whenever we want to gather data. Right way also can be that we have, again, sponsored product ads, and we want to target only close match campaigns, and we're not running the other ad groups. That's also a right way. Right way can also be that whenever it comes down to testing creatives for sponsored brand video ads, for example, we have the one campaign where we are adding multiple ad groups within the same campaign, and we're testing to see which creative actually performs better. And then once that we found that, we're going to pause the other ad groups. So right way is actually has to be balanced with whatever the strategy is behind the campaign. And this is why I was stressing out, if you know your basics, which is what is the purpose of the campaign that you're running, you will know what the right way is. Otherwise, there is not the golden key of how to do it and what to do it. And the reason why I'm saying that is because 5 years ago, that's what I understood. That's the right way. It has to be exact match campaign. It has to be one keyword per campaign. It has to be, what was the other belief? Common belief. It has to be at least twice the multiple of the Amazon suggested bid. That's the right way to bid correctly. And it takes some humility to admit that all the tricks and tactics and whatever I learned is just so BS, because people were like, that's the right way. Because you do have to seem confident in order to make an impact on someone, right? But what I've seen so far is that right way, it's really aligning with whatever the strategy is for you. Because a right way for me, it can be 5 strategies. For each 5 accounts, that's the right way how we're going to make sure that the ad structure, when it comes down to ad groups, is set up in the right way. Let me know if that answers your question. Right. Sales on Amazon without PPC, and how? So the question is it realistically possible to get sales on Amazon without PPC, and how? It is very realistic, and ideally that is the best way how to get sales on Amazon. Everything what we do on the Amazon ad sites, guys, is just to help brands to gain additional market share or to keep the current market share that they're not capitalizing on. So yes, it is highly possible to get sales on Amazon without PPC. That is possible if you're running outside traffic to Amazon, or if outside Amazon you already have brand recognition. Giving you one of the most recent examples, a brand that we just take on 2 months ago. Actually, most of the brands that we are right now managing, they already have lots of external traffic. And then what we are very careful for those brands is making sure that they are going to still show up for their branded searches, because competitors are attacking us and they want to show up for our brand name, right? So it's highly possible for you to also make sales without Amazon PPC ads. Amazon PPC ads, basically what they are, think of it as, what do you want to keep and how much more do you want to take? Because that is the way how we are using Amazon PPC, right? When it comes down to ads, if you already perform well without ads, that means that probably with ads and with some optimization, when it comes down to creatives, you're going to make even more money. If you don't have that, but you already have brand recognition, you want to protect your brand name, it's a most controversial topic that people are talking about, and I think that they are just like, I don't know, it's one of those topics that if you have a position on it, it makes sense for people to consider you. This was mean, but I did not meant it necessarily that mean. It's really, you have to protect your brand name. The reason why I'm saying that we have a strategy that's called Conquer. We are going to take away your market share. It's like really dog eats dog, and especially on Amazon, when you know that, hey, I worked so hard on this business, now I have to make the customer that I gained throughout these years are going to stick with me. We are going to run for those branded search keywords. Let me know if that handled. Okay, 8 more minutes, 4 more questions at least. Is your rest still possible? Okay, I answered that already. There you go to PPC tips. So the next question is, what are your go-to PPC tips that consistently work across different products? My go-to Amazon PPC tips that work for any product, always. What works always for any product? One of the strategies that always works for any product is knowing the strategy behind. Because if you know the strategy behind, no matter what you want to achieve with the account, if you want to grow profitably, if you want to grow aggressively and just scale the account, if you want to get just profitable sales and just hang in there, or if you want to protect your branded products like branded branded keywords, that strategy is one that always works for us. Knowing what you're doing, that's a strategy, believe it or not. Knowing what you're doing and then staying accountable for what you're doing and then delivering the results. That's a strategy that always worked. Now, when it comes down to other strategies, again, this is a PPC tip that it's not PPC related, which is always keep 80% focus on what already works and manage it, and don't lose focus. By that, what I mean is that, especially with advertising, everyone has this the less shiny thing that I just found out, and this is how you use AI and so on. All those things are great, but all those things are designed to take your focus away from whatever you're working on, and it's 80% of the things. So just be very, very careful. So the 80% of the things that you can do for Amazon PPC is that double down on whatever already works for you, right? If you see that there are profitable sales, make sure that those campaigns are running, make sure that you're not accidentally pausing something, make sure that you always increase the daily budget if you see that the budget is running out midday. Ensure that whatever works already is well managed. 10% I would give to keeping systems in place. And here, I'm not sure how could we apply this to Amazon PPC. When running PPC, I'm thinking from the agency's point of view, but making sure that your systems are updated. Now, anything that is Amazon PPC related can be a system that is updated, and you know that. You know what do you do on a daily basis that is updated, right? So if you have a clear schedule, clear calendar, whenever you're going to optimize the bids, whenever you're going to look for new keywords, whenever you're going to create new campaigns, whenever you're going to negate things, whenever you're going to optimize either towards gaining more market share or optimize towards having more profitable sales, that is the system. So making sure that that is updated, and if you changed anything within that system, then you're going to take note of it and update any SOPs that you have or documentation that you have on the system. The rest 10% would go into learning And we have allocated time for those shiny things, shiny objects that we are seeing, and we're testing, right? So we are testing a lot of things. The latest thing that we implemented right now in the agency is AMC, so Amazon Marketing Cloud Campaigns. This is something that other agencies, I'm going to be upfront with you, this is something that other agencies already like created content about for the past 3 months and 4 months, even 3 months or so on, and they're like advocating for it. How cool is it? And so on. And like, yes, it's really cool. The brands that we're managing right now, I cannot lose on whatever brings them money, because if I lose the focus, the team loses focus, and then the brand is going to lose focus, and we're like looking at things that right now are not helpful for us. So only within these past few weeks, month or so on, we started to understand better how to use AMC for the brands that we're managing. And that is also allocated time that we would invest into, one, learning whatever content is already available there. We're going to look it up and make a decision. Is this something that we should be implementing? And if so, can we implement it? And if we can, we're just going to create the campaigns and we're going to test those campaigns, right? And we're going to allocate not more than 5% ad budget, and see what the outcome is, right? Because just because it's a new shiny thing, that's no guarantee that it's going to work for you. So that's why I'm saying that at least 10% of your time should go, when it comes down to PPC tip, into learning about new things, just because that's also important for you to see how else can you improve the current strategy that you have, and the current, the way how you're making your revenue. Let me know if that answers your question. All right. Yes, marketing is the topic. What the subject is Amazon PPC ads, and welcome. I know that this is something that we're sharing live and not only Amazon PPC folks, so appreciate you sticking with me. And we have 3 more minutes. We have 3 more questions. Let's see. Can I answer 3 questions in 3 minutes? 1 minute each. First question. How do you find profitable long tail keywords that actually convert? Brilliant. Step back. Look at it. Profitable long tail keywords. Are those really profitable for you? Long tail keywords, just because they are longer tail, that doesn't mean that they are going to become profitable. Look up what is the cost per click for that long tail keyword. And then second thing, look up if it's worth it for you to go for long tail that is highly likely lower search volume than a more maybe 2-3 words keyword that is shorter but has more search volume on it and can generate more sales. Let me know if that helped. Next question. What separates profitable Amazon PPC campaigns from losing ones? Question everything. There's no profitable Amazon PPC campaigns from losing PPC campaigns. They're gathering data, and how quickly data that you gathered, can you say that, is this something that is helpful for me, that I can build my theory on, if it's working or not? It's a every campaign that you're creating is a hypothesis. You don't know if it's going to work. You don't know what Amazon has planned in their mind. You don't know anything, right? So every campaign that you're creating is a hypothesis. This is why you have to be very cautious when you're creating your campaign and budgeting for it. That's the best way for you to find the Amazon PPC campaigns that are going to work for you. Last question. I'm streaming online from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and let me answer the last question so we can make it 1 more minute to go. All right. If a PPC campaign is clearly broken, what's the first thing you fix? Define what broken means. Broken can mean so many things. In my dictionary, the way how I define broken is that beyond repairing, it's not working along with the strategy we had for the campaign. The way how we are fixing it, we're pausing it. All right. And here we are. We are still live, people. Thank you so much for watching. And it's 2:00 p.m. Thank you so much for sticking with me. And I do wish you nothing else but a super successful and happy new year. 2026, it's coming away. If you did not have the chance to stick with me from the beginning of the show, the live stream, make sure that you're going to scroll back to the beginning. I have really, really good tips that I wish I knew when I started out the year, and it is about PPC planning, and it is about business planning, and it is about life planning. So go back to the beginning of the session. Thanks so much for sticking with me, and I do see you in the next week, like in 1 week. Haha, in 1 year actually. I am going to see you the next week, the same time and the same day, Tuesday from 1 p.m. EDT. Take care, be good, bye.